So previously we made our own home automation project using VC-02 module, which is installed in our studio, and it works great for controlling the appliances through your voice without any internet connectivity. But at our studio, we are used to listen to loud music during our work. At that time, we are unable to control our appliances as VC-02 doesn't respond in loud environment. And this was one of the many such scenarios where we need to have some alternate method to control appliances rather than just using our voice. Maybe using mobile phone, maybe using an IR remote, maybe using manual switches. And along with all these things, we need to maintain the major point of this VC-02 module, which is no internet connectivity. So we came up with a great solution for this, which is offline all-in-one home automation project by techiesms, which comes in the same form factor of our previous AIO V3 project, but this time it got built-in VC-02 module in it. And with this, we are able to control up to 4 AC appliances and speed of 1 AC fan using our voice commands, a Bluetooth application, manual switches, and IR remote. And also we are able to monitor real-time temperature and humidity sensors data on our mobile application. And all this is working without any internet or Wi-Fi connectivity. So no dependency on any IoT platform and full data privacy. And the great part, we'll be selling this complete project through our website, in which you don't need to do any coding at all. The project will be fully assembled and fully pre-programmed, and it's ready to be used. I'll be sharing more details about it by the end of the video. And now let's start building this really great project. So starting with the hardware part of the project, then to make this project, we'll need these all components, and out of them, the major components are the VC-02 module for offline voice recognition and the ESP32 module for controlling via manual switches, IR remote and Bluetooth. Later, after gathering all the components, we need to connect them all according to this schematic diagram. So this schematic has some unique and interesting things, so I'll discuss the schematic one by one. So first of all, we are using the ESP32 board with the reset and the boot button on board, and a VC-02 module which has mic and speaker connector, and it is communicating with the ESP32 module via UART communication. Now as the VC-02 module doesn't have a dedicated reset pin, so here we have created a reset logic using a MOSFET, in which we are cutting off the VCC supply of the VC-02 module to make it reset. Later, as we need to program the VC-02 module and the ESP32 both for this project, we were having two options: either to use two separate programmers or else use one single programmer and switch between ESP32 and VC-02. So we went for only one single programming circuit to reduce the number of components, and here as you can see, we are using a DP/DT switch. So if the switch is at the top position, we are able to program the ESP32 board, and if the switch is at the bottom position, we are able to program the VC-02 module, and we are programming with the help of the CS340C IC. Later, we are using the relays and the relay driver for controlling the appliances, and here we are also using the capacitive fan dimming method to control the speed of the fan. Talking about the sensors, then here we are using the DHT11 sensor for temperature and humidity monitoring, and an IR receiver for controlling the appliances with the help of IR remote. Later we have the other basic components, which is the rotary switch, the switch inputs along with the pull-up resistor, and a terminal connector for load. So that was the complete schematic diagram, and I'll be providing the PDF of this schematic file down in the description of this video, so you can take it as the reference for your next project. And later, after finalizing the schematic, we designed the custom PCB for this project, and later we gave its order to PCBGOGO. Now PCBGOGO is one of the largest PCB manufacturer in China, and luckily I got a chance to visit their factory last year. It is really huge, and they are processing around 3000 orders per day. And ordering PCBs online through PCBGOGO is really very simple. You just need to upload the Gerber file of your PCB project, select the number of PCBs and color masking, and later select the shipping option as per your location. Now here PCBGOGO offers 24 hours PCB manufacturing time without any extra cost if you allow to add the PCBGOGO logo on it, which is really convenient for makers like us. And after that, your design will be reviewed for any error, and later after reviewing, you can pay for your order and get it delivered at your doorsteps. Now the PCB comes safely in a vacuum packaging, and the PCB quality feels really premium. Now currently they are having an amazing offer where you can get $25 worth PCB at just $1 for all the new users, and also they are providing free shipping in North America and Europe. So just click the link mentioned in the description and get your PCBs from PCBGOGO. So after receiving the PCBs, it was the time to solder all the components. So first of all, we started stenciling the PCB, and one by one we started placing all the surface mount components on it. Later, after placing all of them, we put it on our heat bed and let it bake for some time. So after soldering the surface mount components, we started soldering the through hole components one by one, and after soldering them all, the final PCB project looks like this. Neat and really very compact. So that was all about the hardware part of the project, and now let's move on to the programming part. And here this time we have two different programming part, one for VC02 and one for ESP32. So let's first start with programming the VC02 module. So now to program the VC02 module, we first need to go to the website called as voice.aithinker.com. I'll be leaving away its link in the description, and later here you need to click on the English button mentioned in the website, not the Google Translate. Okay, just click on this English button here, and later here you can register for free. In my case, I already made the account and I'm logged into my account. So after logging into your account, you just need to click on create product, and here we'll select the category as the ceiling lamp. Later here we'll select the scene as offline, and the module is VC02. Here we'll give the product name as offline all-in-one home automation. You can give any name that you want. Later the language will be English for our case. Then click on the save button. Here in the configuration we'll keep everything as it is. Just make the steady state noise to open for better range. Later we'll go to the pin number 8, and here we'll select UART1TX, as we'll be using it as a serial communication with our ESP32 board. Okay, so we'll be sending the data via UART communication. Later, here we need to provide the custom wake up commands. So as usual, I'll name it as Ni Hao. Later, during our test in the recent version, we found that it also started recognizing a couple of English commands. So I'll provide a couple of English wake up commands, just like Alexa, in all the possible form factors, or we can say the characters. Later I'll add Jarvis as well, again in all the possible characters, and let's just add the Chinese command as well, which is pudding, to be on the safer side. Okay, so these were a couple of wake up commands. Later the wake up sensitivity will keep it as high as possible, and here are the reply for wake up. I will keep it as it is. You can change it if you want. Later in the basic information section, you need to provide the voice commands that you will be using for doing some actions. Okay, so in our case we are controlling 4 lights and speed of 1 fan, so I'll be providing all those voice commands here quickly, and then I'll let you know what commands I have added.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so here I added all the possible commands for controlling the lights and fan. And here, if you don't know about this standing line, then here the standing line means that either you can provide this command, or you can provide this command, or you can provide this third command, or you can provide this fourth command. Any of this command is recognized, it will be regarded as the light 1 on. Okay, so you can add multiple voice commands for doing one single action, and that is defined by this standing line. Okay, so that is all about the commands that we need to provide. Later we need to define what to do when these commands are being recognized by our VC02 module. That we can do in the control details section. Now here let me show you how to send the hexadecimal value to the ESP32 board when a particular command is recognized. Let's try with the light 1 on. So we'll click on the add control button. So as soon as the light 1 on command is recognized, like any of the command to turn on the light 1, we'll be sending the data via UART. Okay, we'll be sending the data here, and the data will be A1. Okay, so data can be any hexadecimal values. Here it is written like in which format you can send the data. So here I'll send A1. That means I want to turn on the first light. Click on OK, and if any of these command is recognized, it will just send the data A1 to the ESP32 board via UART communication. Similarly, let's just try to add data for light 1 off. So I'll click on add control, click on UART, click on send, and the data will be A0. Click on OK. Okay, so A1 for turning on the first light, A0 for turning off the first light. And similarly, I will add the hexadecimal values for rest of all the behaviors, or for rest of all the appliances quickly.
2 minutes later.
Okay, so I have provided the dedicated hexadecimal value for a dedicated behavior or dedicated appliances, we can say. So A, B, C, D is for all the lights, and I have chosen the F series for fan, like FF to turn on the fan, F0 to turn it off, and similarly F1, 2, 3, 4 for setting the speed 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is all about how to define the voice commands. and how to send the data based on the particular voice commands. Now let's move ahead. So here let's just set the recognition sensitivity as high as possible. Now here we do have an option in which we can choose any of the 10 commands to be recognized even without a wake up command. Okay, so you can choose any of the commands of your choice. Here what I'll do is I'll just add the commands for turning on and off all the lights and turning on and off the fan. And I successfully added the 10 commands of my choice. Okay, later we need to choose a particular speaker or a voice that we want to hear from our VC02 module. As of now, we don't have any option to listen to the voice, so we need to choose it randomly. So let's just keep it this one, which is the default one, and I'll keep the volume maximum. Speed and brightness, I'll keep it to the medium level only. Then here we can add a boot broadcast message, which means as soon as the VC02 module boot up, what you want to hear, what message you want to hear. So I'll type the statement or the message as welcome to techiesms studios, and this is the reply for the quit. This is the quit command, so I'll add one more quit command as stop. Okay, and this is the reply for quit command. That's pretty much it. Just click on make a new version, click on OK, and here is the version that we have created with all our configuration, and we just need to click on the build SDK button and it will build a firmware file for us, and it may take anywhere around 10 to 30 minutes. So let's just wait for it, and later I'll show you how to flash the firmware into our VC02 module.
1 hour later.
Okay, so here the firmware file is successfully built. So what you can do now is you can just click on the download firmware button and it will download a zip file of the current firmware. Click on the keep button and it is successfully downloaded. After downloading, we'll extract that file, and here is the binary file or the firmware file which we need to flash inside our VC02 module. And later, to flash the firmware file, you need to have this tool from Hummingbird into your Windows system. Yes, this is available just for Windows users as of now, not for other operating systems. So after opening that, now you need to connect this all-in-one offline home automation project with your computer via Type-C cable. Make sure the project switch is at on position, and make sure the programming switch is at the VC02 mode, as we need to flash the firmware inside the VC02 module. After that, here as you can see, the COM port appears here, and here now we need to select the binary file which we have just downloaded. So I'll click here and go to the downloads folder, and here is the output 9, and here is the final binary file of the firmware file. I'll click on the open button. Now after selecting the firmware file, we just need to click on this button, and later on the back of the board we have the reset button for the VC02 module, so we need to press that button, and later it will start flashing the firmware in our VC02 module, and it is successfully flashed. And I'm also able to hear the boot broadcast message, which is welcome to techiesms studios. Okay, so the firmware is successfully flashed. So that was the first part of programming, in which we just flashed the firmware in VC02 module. And now let me show you how to program the ESP32 module to make our complete project. Okay, so here is the code for our offline all-in-one home automation project, and this code is dedicatedly made for the ESP32 module. So let me go through this code, but before that, make sure you have all the boards package, software and the libraries in the same version which I'm using here. So currently I'm using the Arduino IDE version 2.3.2, ESP32 boards package version 2.0.6. Later in the necessary library section, these three are the very important libraries, and the version and the links are also mentioned here. So the IR remote version is 2.6.0, ACE button is 1.9.2 and TST is 1.4.3. So make sure you have all these libraries with the same version, and if you have them in your system, this code will successfully compile and be uploaded into your ESP32 board. Later, let me go through the important things and the logic made in this code. So first of all is the Bluetooth device name, and here we have set to ESP32 techiesms. So this name we have given to our ESP32 module, which will be discovered via Bluetooth in our mobile application. In case if you want to change it, you can change it here. Later, the send sensor data interval is set to 10 seconds, which means the temperature and humidity sensors data will be sent after every 10 seconds. After that, here we have the IR remote code for lights. Okay, so here we are using this basic IR remote, which will be delivered along with the purchase of this project, and these are the codes that we have recorded for that particular remote. In case if you want to use a different remote, maybe your TV remote or set-top box remote, you need to record the IR remote data and you need to provide them here to control the specific appliances. So this was for controlling the lights, this is for controlling the speed of the fan. Later, here are the necessary pin declaration for all the input output devices, pretty common, let's just skip it out. And here is the important thing, which is the hex values coming from the VC02 voice command. So as we have built a firmware right now for VC02 model, at that time we have provided a dedicated hex value for a dedicated voice command. For example, for turning on the light 1, the hexadecimal value was A1. So here in the ESP32 module, we need to write that if the data coming from VC02 module is A1, which means it is for turning on the light 1, and that's how we have provided all the hexadecimal values here. Later we'll be comparing it in the code and will control the specific appliance. After that, here are the necessary variables. I just skip it and let's just move on to the void setup part now. Okay, so here is the setup part of the code. So first of all, serial.begin, this is for the serial monitor. Serial2.begin, it is for the VC02 module communication, and serial BT.begin, this is for Bluetooth device. Later, after beginning all of them, we have declared all the pins as input output respectively. Later, we are using the ACE button library, so we have configured all the switches here, and after that we are beginning all the communication, like we are beginning the IR sensor communication, we are beginning the DST sensors communication, and we are also providing a line of code which is get relay state, which is nothing but it will just read out the previous state of the relays. Okay, so we have used the preference library in which the last data will be stored inside the ESP32 module. So when the ESP is powered off and turned on again, it will check out the last state and it will switch all the devices according to the last state. That's what we are doing in the get relay state. Later in the loop part, what we are doing is, if the serial BT client is available, that means this device is connected with a Bluetooth mobile application. First of all, it will update the app. So in the update app, let me just show you what we are doing. So in the update app, we are sending the last state or the current status of this, or what you can say, all the devices to the Bluetooth mobile application, so that on the app we can see which device is currently turned on and currently turned off. So that's what we are doing in the update app as soon as the device or the new mobile is connected. Later, after it get connected, we are just calling the Bluetooth control function, in which we are reading out the data coming from the Bluetooth mobile application and will be controlling all the relays accordingly. Moving ahead, here we are checking if the serial 2 is available or not. Well, serial 2 is for the VC02 module. So if we are getting any data in from the serial 2, it means we need to check out the hexadecimal value of that data, and based upon the hexadecimal value, we are turning on and off that particular device. Okay, that was all about the voice control. Later, we are checking all the buttons and the fan regulator to control all the appliances with the manual switches and regulator as well. Also, we are checking the IR remote function, which is responsible for reading out the data from the IR remote, comparing it and controlling the devices accordingly. And last but not the least, this is for the timer. So after every 10 seconds, this timer will be called and it will send the sensors data, which is nothing but the DST sensors data, and it will reset the timer so that it can call it again after 10 seconds. So that was the complete code written for ESP32 board to control the devices in many different ways possible. Okay, so now let's just try to upload this code. So first of all, you need to connect this project via USB Type-C cable. Make sure the switch is at the on position and make sure the programming switch is set to ESP32 module. Later, here in the board section, we'll select the right COM port and the board will be dev kit v1, and later just hit the upload button. Okay, so after successfully compiling the code, it will start uploading onto the ESP32 board, and if it doesn't start uploading, you can just press and hold the boot button on the board and later it will start uploading the code. So that was all about the code for the ESP32 module, and with this we are done with the coding part as well, and now we are just left with testing out this complete project. So let me show you that as well. Now before testing, we started attaching all the peripherals with our device like mic, speaker, sensors, fan regulator and manual switch connector wire at the respective ports. Later we started installing it in one of the switchboard of our studio as per this connection diagram. Now be very careful while playing with the AC mains wires. Kindly seek the help of electrician if you are not confident enough to do the wiring. Now here, after installing the project, we powered it up.
Welcome to techiesms Studios.
And with that welcome note, now our project is ready to be tested. So first, let's test out with the Bluetooth mobile application. So first, open up the Bluetooth setting on your smartphone and just pair your phone with this ESP32_techiesms Bluetooth device. After successfully pairing, just open up this Bluetooth mobile application developed by us on your Android smartphone. Then go to settings, click on the connect button, and here just select the ESP32 techiesms. As you can see, this bar becomes black in color, which means it is successfully connected with our device. And now we can control all the appliances with the help of the Bluetooth mobile application with very low latency, and also we can control the speed of the fan. Along with all of this, we are also able to monitor real-time temperature and humidity sensors data. So that was with the Bluetooth application, and now let's test with our voice commands. Ni hao.
Please go ahead.
One light on.
Turning on light 1.
Second light on.
Turning on light 2.
Fan speed 3.
Fan speed set to 3.
Okay, so I'm able to control all the appliances through the voice commands, and not only that, I'm also getting its real-time feedback on the Bluetooth mobile application. And it will work in similar manner with the IR remote that is shipped with the device, and also with the manual switches and manual fan regulator along with the real-time feedback. And all this is working completely offline. So that was our truly offline home automation project made using ESP32 and VC-02 module, and we tried to make it in as compact size as possible. So what are your thoughts on this project? Did you really like it? Well, if yes, then I have a good news for you, as we are selling this complete project with all the accessories required for it through our website techiesms.com, and once you order, you'll be getting the completely assembled, fully programmed and fully tested project delivered at your doorstep, which is ready to be used. I'll be linking away the purchase link of this project down in the description of this video, and we do have an early bird discount as well, so do check out the description to know more about it. Okay, so that was it about this video. Now if you really like the project and the idea, well, a like will be really appreciated. Also, let me know your suggestions about what can be done better in this complete project, and maybe we can come up with the new and advanced version of this project. We never know. So do share your thoughts down in the comments, and yeah, that being said, and I'm just ending this video here and now. Just wait for my next video. Until then, explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.